Hey guys, MCU Collector here with some figure reviews for you. Here we have the Spero Toys Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Primal series. So I have a few different figures to show you guys. Big shout out and thank you to Spero Toys for sending these my way so I can check out and show you guys and give you guys another option for some really awesome action figures. So first up is the gigantic General Thane. This is from Wave 2, which is available now on the website. He also sent me an accessory head pack there, which is the adventure set, which looks really awesome. And I have some Wave 1 figures that I'm really excited to take a look at. Here we have Pale in the adventure armor. We have, I think this is pronounced Atreyu in Wave 1 as well, in the Regal armor. We have Kali in the Conquest armor. And then from Wave 2, I want to say it's either Lexian or Lexian or Lexion, which is a really cool one. So Wave 3 is up for pre-order. You can get Wave 1 and Wave 2 figures on the Spero Toys website, link in the video description below. But these things are pretty damn awesome. That General Thane really looks crazy, but I'm really excited to take these out of the box and show you guys how really cool they are. The accessories are awesome. The armor and everything, the sculpt work of the figures are really great as well, so I'm excited to show you guys. So let's go ahead, start opening these bad boys up and take a look at all these awesome figures. Okay, so first up is the big boy. It is General Thane. This guy is crazy. He's got some massive weight to him because he just has this massive upper body. His lower body, though, is a little bit small. As you can see, he's got fairly short legs, but he's all armored up, which is pretty cool. His accessories are, we get the interchangeable head. So I actually put the helmeted head sculpt already on there. So we get two head sculpts. So the unhelmeted and the helmeted head sculpt. We get two extra set of hands. So we have extra fists here, and then we have just kind of these open hands here. He's got grip hands actually on the figure already, so he can grip his hammer weapon. And this thing is really cool. Check it out. Look at the details and the sculpt work, like all that wear and tear and cuts and scrapes and stuff all over there. Just looks really cool. It's this nice, like, dark copper, like this gunmetal color, which is nice. The handle is a little bit of brown. We get some blue wrap in there and some silver metal color in there. It just looks really, really good. It's pretty awesome. It fits nice and firm in the hands. Almost a little too firm. You gotta really get the hands to open up to really grip it. But here we have General Thane, so he is pretty cool. The articulation points have really all the points that you would expect out of any action figure that you would really want. The head is on a disc hinge, so he can look up quite a bit. He can look down quite a bit. I'll go ahead and swap out that head so you can see with the unhelmeted version, so you can really see his face. Which is really nice. The shoulder, you can get the shoulders to go out, straight out like so. Full rotation in there. There is an upper bicep swivel, but this dude's arms are so big, you can't get a full turn on that arm. I mean, you would really have to force it. And it just the problem is, like, the triceps are just so large it hits that shoulder ball. There is a swivel at the elbow as well, and you get a single joint, which gives you a little bit of almost 90 degrees or so. Then wrists swivel and they do hinge. Like here, these grip hands have the vertical hinge to them. They are recessed a little bit, so you just kind of have to work it to really get the hinge, but you can really get some good motion in there. The other ones do have more of the standard horizontal hinge on there, so like the fists, and then the open hands. But the grip hands are the ones where, you know, you're going to wield the weapon, so it actually works out quite nice that we have that hinge there on the right hand. It looks like the left hand, that grip, is a standard horizontal on there. You heard that ab crunch earlier, which is pretty crazy. And since, you know, he's kind of a gorilla, like, that click forward, I think, actually kind of looks best, so he's really looking straight at you, which is pretty cool. All the armor pieces here are all like rubber plastic overlays, so they're not sculpted on there, so you can kind of move around to still get that articulation. You do have a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. The armor, the skirt armor piece does kind of get in the way a little bit, but you could still work it. It's got some flex to it, which is nice. The leg kicks forward a little bit. You do go back a little bit as well. There is a thigh cut in there, actually, kind of mid-leg. His leg is pretty short, but it is in there. Single jointed single joint at the knee. It does actually have a swivel at the knee as well. There is some foot articulation, but I'm going to be honest with you, the armor pieces does hinder it a little bit. It's got ankle pivot in there and a hinge. It's just the armor piece really kind of hinders that. And this is not like a sculpted leg. It is another like rubber overlay over the leg. So if you wanted to, I'm sure there's a way to kind of get that, remove that off, and then you could probably get more use out of the out of that hinge and the ankle pivots. But as of now, he still has them. Okay, so I just want to get up close so you could see just the details and how cool this guy is. So here is General Thane. There's a close-up look at the head sculpt. Looking at the details on like the armor and stuff that he wears. Look at that leather on the brown, the detail and the texture, the gold buckle there. Just looks awesome. This armor piece, it's got like this metallic red to it, which just looks awesome. I love the way it comes out looking. The wear and tear in the sculpt of it is really nice. We get this nice metallic blue over here on his right arm. The knees have that same metallic blue and everything. Just looks really, really nice. Looking at the helmet, that same metallic blue. The details are just really, really nice on this guy. Like even the straps of like the armor pieces on his arms all have the leather look to it. A little bit of wear and tear on in the sculpt work as well. Just really, really nice details. So that is the General Thane from Wave 2. Now let's go ahead and check out some of the Wave 1 figures. Okay, and here we have the Kali in the Conquest armor, and this one is really awesome as well. He comes with a bunch of accessories, also grip hands out of the package. We get some fists to go along with it, and then we have kind of the same like open, relaxed hands, kind of like the General Thane, all the different hands that you have. Here we also have 3 different weapons. So these are a type of like blade, right? Some type of sword. I don't know what they're called, but they are some type of sword. They are each different. As you can see, there are different shapes to the blades, different shapes to the hilts there. The nice gold color, and then look at the sculpted texture of the blades as well, which is really nice. So, you know, not just a clean blade. You can see that these have seen battle. They've been used before. And then we also get this gun here. This is kind of nice too. It's done in that same gold color and then a little bit of blue for the handle there, which is really nice. And then we have the Kali figure. So this one, you get all of the points of articulation that you would want. Very similar to the General Thane, but this one you can get a little bit more use out of the articulation, especially with like the ankles. You can really use the hinge, really use the pivot in there, so which is really cool. So we're going to go ahead and go through the articulation now. So the head is on a disc, is on a ball hinge, so you can get him to look up somewhat. He does have long hair, so that does hinder it a bit. So just a heads up on that, but you can get him to look down all the way as well. One thing that's going to throw you off, the neck piece is actually a separate piece. So if I like pop that head off and then remove this drape piece there, the neck itself has its own movement, and then you have the hinge in there for the head. So just a heads up on that. So that means with the head, you know, you're going to get the full swivel and things like that, and you can get some crazy pivot also. You can get the arm to go straight on out. So you have this really awesome like dragon lion thing, armor piece there on his left shoulder. That doesn't even like really stop the articulation. It's flexible, so it'll work with the arm, so like you can get it to go straight on out and everything in there. Full rotation at that shoulder as well. Upper thigh, upper bicep swivel in there, double jointed elbow, as you can see there. There are pins on this guy, but they're hidden pretty well, as the pins are actually the same color of the spot that they're on. So gold, blue, and then here on the inside, gold and blue. So at first I didn't realize that there were pins, but the pins, again, they are very well hidden in there. Wrist swivel. Most of the hands have the standard horizontal hinge, but like here, the left hand has the horizontal hinge, but the right hand has the vertical hinge. The other hands have the standard horizontal hinge to them. We have an ab crunch on this guy, so he can crunch forward that much, which is really nice. He can go back quite a bit, as you can see there. And then the waist, oh, I didn't even realize it's a ball joint waist, so you can actually get him to tilt to the left tilt to the right, like so. It has the swivel at that waist, so, and then that ball, you can get it to lean back a little bit and lean forward. So even with the ball joint waist and the crunch, you can lean forward that much. That is pretty crazy. Like, I didn't realize that ball joint there, so you can get the round motion in there. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that far, which is good. The leg does go back actually quite a bit. There is an upper thigh cut in there. You get a double jointed knee like so. There is no calf swivel, but foot hinges all the way down. You get some hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet there. So yeah, Kali has got some really good articulation, but that ball joint waist, that's, you know, that's always a game changer when you can really get some natural looking movement, and when you can get, you know, figures to tilt a little bit. That's just kind of crazy. He's looking at you like, what? Okay, so for the up close look at the Kali figure, you can see here the details of it look really nice. Face sculpt, the texture of his skin, all looks really good. The armor, nice gold paint for the armor, dark blue in some areas, and then he's got some of the purple, which is kind of like in the inside of this this collar piece that hangs down. But just some nice metallic blues for like the legs there, his skin with the blue color for his hands, his feet, and then his face. But the gold armor is crazy. But I mean, look at the detail of that. That just looks great. And again, the pins, the colors of the pins being hidden in there quite nicely. Yeah. He looks awesome. And the surprises keep coming. I didn't notice this butterfly joint in there. Like, crazy. It really has all the articulation points that you would want out of any figure. Oh man, so here is Atreyu, and this one I think is going to be my favorite. This guy is absolutely amazing. Holy moly. He comes with extra hands, so just like everybody else, we get these open hands here. No armor on these hands. They're just kind of furry on there, which is pretty cool because it looks like he's really kind of a lion. We get the fist, and then out of the package he has the grip hands on there. He's got this awesome shield. He's got this crazy ass sword, and then he's also got an additional dagger as well. I love the metal color of the dagger. Nice dark silver in there. A little bit of brown on that hilt, but really nice looking there. The shield is crazy, and then the sword is pretty damn awesome as well. So looking at the details of the sword, again, I love the wear and tear to the sword. There, it has seen battle. It has been through some things. Really awesome sculpt. I love the way it came out looking. It's really nice. The shield looks crazy, but there's one thing about the shield that I find a little odd. So you get the separate handle piece. This is how it comes in the package. You have 2 ports on there, so you can port the handle piece on there, which is cool because then, you know, he can hold the shield and you could put it on either side so he could hold it. I guess that's okay. But then like this piece, and I'm assuming this is going to be so you can port that in there, and then what you could do is there is a peg hole on his back. You can port the shield on his back, so maybe, you know, you have something like that depending on what you want to do for imagery or something. I would have liked it to have been centered, but you know, I love the idea and the concept of it. Again, I just wish it would have been centered, but that's really cool. But anyway, look at the details of the shield. Like, how crazy is that? The gold paint looks awesome, but just the sculpt of it just looks insane. It is actually pretty heavy too. I mean, it's a solid piece of plastic. There's not really any give to it either. So it's not going to be, you know, flexible and soft and anything like that. It just looks amazing. Really, really nicely done. And then, of course, the peg, you're going to get that and you can just remove it. But the figure itself, man, this one is, God, he's really, I think, really going to be turning into my favorite. He's got all the points of articulation as you would expect too. It was this one that I noticed the butterfly joints, so that's when I was able to go back on the Kali and say, you know what, there's butterfly joints, because man, you know, you can get them to work in there, so you can get some help with some crossbody going, and then you can get the arm to go back as well. Just crazy, but again, all the same points of articulation you would want. The neck piece is a separate piece. You can do swivel, you can do pivot all around the head and everything like that, which is great. You got the hinge, so you can look up and down. The ab crunch, which crunches very far forward. Doesn't go as it actually goes back quite a bit. At first, I didn't think it was going to go back a whole lot, but it still does. I mean, we have that ball joint at the waist, which is just awesome because then you can get some to tilt and you get some round motion and everything like that. You can do the swivel. The legs go out that far apart. It's got the thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, which is solid there. Foot hinges down, hinges up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. I mean, it just has all the articulation you would want. Double jointed elbows, bicep swivel in there, wrists swivel, and they hinge. Let's see, do we have the same thing? Yep, so right hand has the vertical hinge in there, and then the left hand and the other hands have the standard horizontal hinge. But man, yeah, this one is probably my favorite, but it seems like every time I open one, it just keeps getting better and better. But let's go ahead and take the closer look at Atreyu. So each one of these figures actually has a little bit of a bio. So for Atreyu, it's heir to the throne of House Pherolus. This young brash warrior is determined to show he's worthy of succeeding his father's throne. And you know what? Yeah, he seems pretty damn worthy to me. He looks awesome. Nice golden brown armor to him. On this guy, we actually do get some of the armor pieces are actually sculpted in there. So like his bicep, his shoulder, those are sculpted. But like the gauntlet piece, this is a separate floating piece there. You know, that kind of moves around a little bit rubbery. But yeah, he is awesome. Golden brown armor. I love it. He just looks, I think, going to look the best. You know, it'd be hard for any of the other ones to surpass this one. But Pale in the adventure armor does look pretty awesome as well. So they just keep getting better. We'll see. We'll see how much I like some of the other ones. If I'm gonna like them more, or if this is gonna be the guy, which I think he is the guy. Oh man! And just as I thought, some of these figures are just getting too good. So Pale in the adventure armor, and this guy says, Pale, this young Chunari warrior represents the best hope to bring the vile Emperor Kali's reign to an end. This guy is freaking awesome too. This one, he's not as armored up, and I actually really like kind of the base body that they use. He's just kind of, you know, these beasts, right? These primal beasts. So without so much of the armor, they're really damn awesome also. I mean, he's got some things kind of added on to him, but they do have some other figures available on the Spero Toys website, so you can actually get where there's like, you know, very little armor. Obviously, they still have like the loincloth portion there, but man, these guys are awesome. In this one, Pale comes loaded with weapons, so he's got, again, all the same hand. So we see the same theme with all the figures on the same hand. So he's got the fists, he's got the open hands, the grip hands are actually on the figure, ready to go. Right hand has the vertical hinge, whereas the left hand has the horizontal hinge still. But he's got a bunch of weapons on him. So he's got these two little curved daggers. I'm sure they have a name. I don't know what the name is. It's sharp as hell. Careful when getting these into his hands because they are sharp, but they are really freaking awesome. Look at the hilts on them. They got that red color in there. And then the blades. I love the metal color, the dark gray silver color that they use for these blades. They are awesome. These two pieces are the same. As you can see there, we get two of them, and then we get this awesome axe here. The same thing, the handles are all red with like brown straps and things like that, but the axe looks amazing. Love the way it looks. And then we get this sword here, which looks really nice, and then we get this other sword here, which is like crazy looking. Like, look at this one. I mean, it's got a whole, like, it's just crazy. And again, these are pretty sharp. You want to be careful because you can poke yourself with them, which is kind of crazy. There's not really any flexibility to them, so you don't want to bend them too much. You know, that might snap. Not that you would bend them in any way, but just a heads up on that. But man, here is Pale, and he is actually really awesome. Man, I'm having a lot of fun with this guy. More than I thought I would, because I was like, man, the Atreyu figure is pretty cool. But no, I think this one might actually be better. I think I like the no armored look where you have like the base body and everything. I think came out is quite nice. Yeah, what an awesome figure. So let's go ahead and check out his articulation. Again, all the same points of articulation. I think it looks like they all, for the most part, use the same legs and feet. The bodies are actually be different, obviously, because you know you got some of the armored ones. You know, versus the non-armored ones. Obviously, the feet for Atreyu would be different because he's a different type of animal. He's a lion versus an ape, right? But like Kali had the same feet on him because he is an ape as well. Which is just really cool. So in terms of the articulation, again, all the points that you could want. The neck is on a separate joint. The head is on a ball hinge, so you can get him to look up, look down. You get the full rotation in there. You get some crazy pivot going on. Shoulder, you can get the arms to go straight on out. You get the full rotation in there. You got the butterfly joint to get the arm to go back a little bit and then come forward a little bit for some cross body. Upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed elbow, as you can see there. Wrists swivel in the hinge. Again, horizontal hinge on all the hands except for the right grip hand does have a vertical hinge, so we at least have one with the vertical hinge on there. Ab crunch. So ab crunch works extremely well on this guy, as you can see there. Going back is pretty crazy as well. And then again, the ball joint at the waist, which is awesome, so you can get him into all kinds of natural poses and everything like that. Swivel there at the waist. Legs go out that far apart. You can't kick forward very far. Goes back quite a bit, as you can see there. You do have the thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, like so. There's no calf swivel or anything. Foot hinges down, hinges up, ankle pivot, peg at the bottom of the feet. So again, all the articulation is exactly what you would expect, what you hope for, and these guys do a great job of really working with it. So up close look at Pale, as you can see there, he's kind of got the mohawk, a little bit of hair coming down, and then he's got these crazy ass sideburns there. But that looks really good. The fur of the body is quite nice. It kind of smooths out here in the front on his abs and his chest for the torso. That looks pretty good. But the fur is all sculpted nicely. As you can see there, there is a peg hole in the back if you wanted to plug something in. But the armor pieces that he does have, you get this nice metallic like red added to it. So you get the red of the armor, the dark red of the armor, right? But then there's that metallic portions on there. So that'd be like the metal pieces. So think of it like this buckle right here. That little portion of the buckle gets that same metallic red. Get some pouches. Ooh, holy shit. Look at this. I didn't even notice this before. Boom. So he can actually do some weapon storage. So if you want to do that sword, which is the crazy one, or let's see if this one will work. You could do that one as well. It's a little bit more loose, but that's something that you could do. So that is really awesome. There, look at the gauntlet pieces. The knees get a little bit of a metallic turquoise on there. Metallic colors kind of throughout some of these like diamond portions there. But just really, really, really nice. Really awesome. So there is Pale. We got one more figure to look at, and that is actually going to be the Wave 2 Lexian. I can't pronounce it. Spero Toys, let me know. Okay, so here with the Wave 2 figure of the Lexian, and he's a beast. He is definitely a little bit beefier. He's got a larger upper torso than we'd seen with the Wave 1 figures. Looks like the legs are going to be the same and the hands are basically the same, but he just feels like he is a bigger figure. Like he is heavier, just a little bit more heft to him. But he looks pretty awesome. Again, same loadout with the hands, not any different. We get the fists, we get the open hands, we get the grip hands out of the package. He comes with a couple of accessories. So we have this sword here, which is nice. Just get this like brown color for the hilt there. It's got the spikes there and then a nice silver color for the blade. We get this crazy ass looking gun, this rifle or shotgun type of deal. And this thing is crazy. Look at the sculpted detail on there. Kind of the handle back here wrapped around in brown wraps there, but nice silver metal color there, looking pretty good. But the figure itself, the Lexian figure, he is pretty crazy. Like he's got spikes all over the place. So these spikes are all pretty sharp, even though they're kind of a rubber material. They're still pretty sharp. Like you don't want to just grab it quickly because they're gonna poke you. Same on these gauntlet pieces. He has them there. Same thing. I like that he's kind of like asymmetrical, right? Or non-symmetrical. You got the orange on the left shin guard, but then you got orange on the armor for his right arm, and then brown on the left arm, and then brown for the left leg. It's just kind of interesting, you know, to switch up, and when you do character designs, it kind of changes things up. It makes him pretty cool. The bio for this guy is a ruthless mercenary who betrayed his people and countless others in the hunt for profit and glory. So this dude's kind of out on his own to make money wherever he can. Who cares about anybody else? And you know what? That's cool. That's up to him on what he wants to do. The articulation is the same of what you would expect with the other guys. I'm not going to go over everything because it's exactly the same. But I will say in the torso, you know, he can lean back, he can lean forward a crazy amount as well. The same thing. You get that ball joint at the waist as well. This guy does have the armor piece on there on his chest, and I'm having a hard time just figuring out if it's just a rubber piece that's really tight over it or if it's sculpted on there. I want to say it's just a sculpted piece, and which is pretty cool again, but I think I kind of like those bodies without the armor a little bit more, but this one is still pretty cool. Like, let's go ahead and take a closer look so you can see exactly what it's all about. Okay, so here is Lexian up close. The paint detail is pretty nice. He's actually got spots like all over him, as you can see here. So this is kind of the first figure out of the ones that I have where you kind of see that sort of thing. We get a nice gradient paint here in his ears, a little bit of spots on there. Eyes look pretty crazy, yellow and red. Sculpted quite nicely. The neck piece on there. Again, you know, you can move it, you can get some tilt and stuff going on with that headpiece. The armor looks pretty good. It's like a metallic orange down the center here. So you get orange color for the armor, and then down the center a little bit metallic, so a little metallic accents in there. This armor piece, unfortunately, is sculpted to the arm, whereas we had seen with some of the other ones, they were just like free flowing pieces that just add on overlays. This like armor piece here is actually sculpted on there, and because of that, you see the gray pin there. So that's a little unfortunate, but you know, I guess we're bound to see that not everything could be a rubber overlay and kind of stick some things in there. So that's what we see that. But like the gauntlet pieces are rubber overlays in there, and you can actually see that he does have painted spotted details even on there, even though it's going to be covered up with the armor. You still get that in there. But looking at the torso piece again, that looks pretty good. Kind of wraps around. We do have a peg hole in the back there. Nice paintwork for these rivets, I would say, in that band. Yeah, on the pauldron, right? That's what that's called. Nice metallic metal color for the paint on there for that ring. Yeah, looks really, really nice. He does have butterfly joints in there, and I feel like this one might go back a little bit more compared to some of the other figures. Coming forward is a little bit. But yeah, he looks awesome. He's more of a cat. I know we've seen kind of a lion, we've seen apes, and then this one is more of a different type of cat. Not sure exactly which type of cat it would be, but you know, he's got the longer pointed ears on there. The skirt piece looks really good. We get some like chainmail going on there. I like the goldish color that they use on there, which is really nice. You get it in the back as well. And then you got his shin guards there. Again, we get more spikes on the left leg, and it's orange versus brown on the right leg. But yeah, that looks really good. He's just a lot heavier of a figure compared to some of the other ones from Wave 1. And because there's something wrong with me, the best part, how did I forget this earlier to show you guys the full accessory loadout? He's got a damn crossbow. Look at this thing. This thing is crazy. Look at that detail in that crossbow. Nice silver color in there. It looks like a cat skull almost on there, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, there. Look at that crossbow. That is pretty nice. I'm really liking that. Nice wood grain texture to it too. So yeah, boom, crossbow. Okay, so here I have the extra heads from that Adventure Head accessory pack. So there are army builder figures that you can actually get on the Spero Toys website. They're kind of the blank bodies, you would say, similar to Pale, I guess, because they don't have the armor pieces to them. They're just kind of the bodies there. So there's no armor on the legs, there's no armor on the arms, there's no armor necessarily on the torso. Although one of them, the Chinari Infantry, does come with like this pauldron piece or the shoulder strap. So it is similar. So you have these heads, so you can kind of swap out the different pieces on kind of how you want to do it. Some of these colors aren't going to match perfectly, you know, but like we have this lion head. I'm going to put this on the Atreyu body. And so you can you can swap these heads around kind of all you want. So the ball joints are all going to be kind of the same size on there. So you can, you know, army build all you want or create different characters how you may want to do that as well. So like here, this one's going to be the closest one. So it's going to let's take Pale's head off.
Let's put this head on there. The grays aren't going to match, but I guess it's kind of the closest match. Oh, you know what? Actually, the Lexian. This will probably match a little bit better. So you could pop that on there. So then you can create, you know, somebody completely different. And that's a little bit of a closer match. So the heads can all kind of pop around and move them around in all different ways. But, you know, there are a few different head accessory packs that you can get. So this one, you know, just happens to have like 2 ape heads and then one of the lion heads. Some of the other head packs that you can get, you know, where there's one with a repaint of the pale head, a repaint of this head, and then it looks like, oh, kind of the same thing. So like the Vile Villains head pack looks pretty cool. So it looks like you get, you know, two ape heads and then one of the lion heads, or one where there's a repainted Lexian head in there, and some of the different cat ones and things like that. So some pretty awesome head accessory packs that you can pick up. It looks like there's 3 different head accessory packs to choose from, which is pretty cool. So it adds, you know, a lot of nice customization that you want to do to some of your guys. Okay, so there are the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Some Wave 1 figures, some Wave 2 figures, so lots of cool things. So make sure to check out the Spero Toys website to see all the different offerings, because there are other characters. They are the Army Builder figures as well. There is Wave 3 that's coming, estimated to be summer 2023, so make sure to check that out. Get your pre-orders in for Wave 3. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these Spero Toys Animal Warriors of the Kingdom? They kind of blew me away and surprised the hell out of me. I'm pretty amazed at kind of the quality of them and how they move around. They have all the articulation, which is crazy. The butterfly joints, the neck, the separate neck pieces that can move around, the hinge on the neck instead of like just dumbbell joints. They have thigh swivel, they have double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel, ankle pivot, ankle hinge, all the articulation you can want. The big one, that ball joint waist, which really changes the game and is really awesome, because, you know, some figures have them from time to time, but these guys really make good use of them and they work really, really well. But you guys, again, let me know your thoughts on the Spero Toys Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Have you picked up some Wave 1, some Wave 2? Are you in for Wave 3? Let me know down in the comments below. But again, make sure to check out the Spero Toys website. And thank you to Spero Toys for sending these out for me to check out and show you guys how awesome they are. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and support the MCU Collector channel. And as always, thank you for watching.